if not heartless people? How can these people who have suffered, brutal, violent violation by Boko Haram, and even the intervention to provide some relief for them, now some people just, that money disappeared. I mean, who will ever take us serious in this world? If you can do that to refugees, to people who have suffered attack, killings, by these criminal terrorists, and now you have come to use pen to also terrorize them. This is really wickedness. CISLAC, which is the Transparency International chapter in Nigeria, expresses worry over the rate at which the presidency sent requests for approval for borrowing, despite the huge amount of resources wasted by various ministries, departments, and agencies. In late April, while the Senate approved 5.5 billion naira for the priority project, the House of Representatives also approved 22.7 billion that was rejected the previous year. The latter was set to finance key infrastructure in the country. Time and again, civil society organizations and other stakeholders have called for accountability and transparency in the management and utilization of recovered funds. Yet the story remains the same, as recovered loots are looted and alleged borrowed funds are diverted into personal pockets. We therefore call on the leadership of the National Assembly to restrain from further approval of borrowing and mandate the executive to recover misappropriated, mismanaged, and looted funds as stated below. As you recall, during the COVID, the federal government rushed to IMF to ask for loan to finance COVID, $3.4 billion. CISLAC, we protested and wrote to the IMF to say that as much as we are not saying that don't give money to Nigerian government, but you must lay down strict compliance in terms of ensuring that there's transparency and accountability in the utilization and management of these funds. Secondly, we say there must be tracking and monitoring of this spending. Thirdly, we say that the so-called emergency procurement must follow due process, because they have been hiding under the emergency of COVID to be doing all sort of, in fact, to be plotting the public procurement law. We also insisted that there must be safe reporting for whistleblowers, because if you blow the whistle, like we have already been seeing, some people carrying, all sort of billions to say that they have used it for COVID. Even the disease control, they came here shamelessly to say that they spent 1.3 billion to take care of themselves. So we now warn the IMF that as much as we did not say don't give money to our country, but it must follow proper transparency and accountability, and Nigerians must benefit, from these funds. As I speak to you, while IMF, World Bank, they spoke with us, we had a Zoom with them for the first time in the history of IMF, World Bank, as per borrowing money to Nigeria. That was the first time they have had to talk to us, because we have warned that unless they want to aid corruption in Nigeria, this money must be tied to condition of accountability and transparency. Ladies and gentlemen, as I speak to you now, till today, there's no any information from Nigerian government on COVID-19 spending. You remember we got a lot of money from different, private sectors. Dangote, Oditola, Gate Foundation, and Ford Foundation. From the bilateral, from German government, from American government, from EU. So many of them, they got all this money. Till today, you have no any information on what they have done with this money. And this money is collected on behalf of all of us here. You remember, so far there was no any direct victim of COVID-19 lockdown that was supported. What government did was their so-called existing school feeding and conditional cash transfer, which some people were already in the register, they were collecting. But the people that were locked down, who were not able to feed themselves unless they have to come out, those were the people that we say government should endeavor to ensure that they support them.